ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्वसे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषु तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदि कवये मुह्यन्ति यत् सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 87, verse number 15. So these are prayers of the Shrutis, Vedas personified to Bhagavan Narayana to wake him up for the creation. And in the previous two slokas we studied how they prayed that Bhagavan is glorious, Jai Jai Jahi Ajamajita Dosha Grabhita Gunam, that he is conqueror of the Maya, and then Jivas can worship him, becoming free from the influence of avidya. And the Shrutis, they describe Bhagavan both in the path of karma as well as bhakti. So Kachid Ajaya Atmana Cha Charito Anucharet Nigma. So Ajaya means Maya, which means description from the karma point of view. And Atmana is Swarup Shakti, where they describe Bhagavan's Swarupa. So they continue now. Brihaduplabdheram etadanvet etad vayanti avasheshataya yat udayastamayo vikriter mridiva vikritat atarishyo dadhostvai manovachanacharitam kathamayatha bhavanti bhuvidatta padani nrinam. So brihad uplabdham etad. So etad uplabdham brihat. Etad means this, which is very next to us, that is called by etad. So samiptarvarti cha etadorupam. So what is very close is etad, which means the visible world, because that is what we see. So this is brihat. Brihat means Brahm. This is also form of Bhagavan. And avanti avasheshataya. The sages atar rishyo avanti. So they know, and they know that in the end, when this is closed, then you only remain. Yat udayastamayo vikriter mridaiva avikritat. And just as from the clay various parts, big, small, are made, and they ultimately break and merge back into earth, in the same way this universe also manifests from you, but you are avikrita. The mrid, the clay undergoes transformation, but you do not undergo any transformation. Therefore, Rishiyo Tvai Mano Vachana Charitam Dadho. So therefore the sages, they engage their mind and speech only in meditating on you, speaking about you. They engage them in your service. Kathamayatha bhavanti bhuvidatta padani nirnam. So they are giving an example, Arthantarnyas, that if you are walking on the earth, or if you are existing on earth, then wherever you put your foot, it will fall only on earth, cannot fall anywhere else. So in the same way, we may know it, we may not know it, but we exist in Bhagavan only. Even when you are doing materialistic activities, still we are in Bhagavan only. So we may know that we are walking on earth, or we may not know it, but nonetheless our feet, they fall on earth alone. So better be aware of it. So Sri Vishnath Chakravarti comments, Nanu cha yuyam na kevalam mameva parmeshwaram buddhave apitu indro yato vasitasya raja iti. So he is saying that you are not praying only to me, you are not knowing only me as the Supreme, but you also pray to Indra and other devas, such as in the Shruti statement, Indro yato vasitasya raja. So Indra is the king of movable and immovable. Yato means jangamasya, yata means that which is mobile, and avasitasya sthavarasya, which is immobile. Cha Indra eva Rajendram api. So Indra is the controller, ruler, king of both. Agnir Murdha Diva iti Agnim apiti Cheta. Similarly, there are statements praising Agni as the supreme, that she is the head or fire is the head, Diva iti, Agnimapi. So why that now you are saying that I am the Supreme? This is the question raised by Bhagavan to the Shrutis. So they reply, Satyam Jagat Karnasyeva Parmeshwaratva Niyamanad Indradinam cha Jagat Karnatu Darshanat. So they are saying that it is true what you are saying, because one who is the cause of the universe is considered as Ishvara, because he is the controller, Parmeshwarat Niyamanath. And we see that Indra, etc., they are also the controller, they are also seen to be the ruler of the world. But you are the ultimate cause of everything. Tvameva sarva jagat karanam Parameshwara Indradayastu Tvad-datta yat kinchid aishwarya eva. You are the supreme controller, but Indra, etc., they have some power which has been given by you. So to say this, the Shrutis speak this verse, Brihad Uplabdham etadavayanti avasheshataya. Etad uplabdham shrotra netradibhir avgatam. So that which is perceivable with our eyes, ears, etc. Indradikam sarvam brihad brahmeva. That includes the visible world which we see. It includes Indra, etc. We don't see, but we hear about him from the Shastra. So all this is Brihat, means it is Brahm only. Avayanti jananti, they know it. Kutaha avshestaya. Why is it? Brahmana staveva avshishyamanattvena tirtha. Because in the end only you remain. And what remains, that is the ultimate cause. Because this is a principle that Vilaya happens in the Upadan Karana. So Vilaya means dissolution or destruction. So that happens only in that which is the Upadan Karana, which is the material cause. And that is what remains in the end. So you are called Shesha because Shishyate iti Shesha Sangya. After the dissolution only you remain. That's what the word Shesha means, the remainder. And that means you are the ultimate cause. So even Indra, etc., they do not remain. So therefore they cannot be considered as the ultimate Ishwaras. That is the logic. So atra drishtanta vasabda upmartha. So in this they give the example of clay. The word va is in the sense of simile. Vikriter ghatader yatha mridi udaya astamayav. So just as the appearance and disappearance means the creation and destruction of the clay pots happens in clay only. They come out of the clay, they merge back into clay. And therefore clay is the ultimate cause of them. Tathaiva yatastvattaiva upadan karanatasya vishyasya udayastamaya. In the same way, the appearance and disappearance of this material world happens from you and into you only. So then he says, does it mean that I am also undergoing transformation like the clay? Tarhi mama vikaritvam ayatam. So the Shruti says no, avikritat. So they say, Yata udaya astamayav vikritair. So vikriti is the clay and mridi avikritat. You are avikrita. there is no transformation that happens in you. Vikar shunyat. Etad adbhutam eva yat tava upadanatve api vikara bhava. So this is something which is strange and astonishing, because anything which is the upadan karana or material cause for any object, any product, then material cause has to undergo some transformation to produce the object. Even if you have to assemble, even if you take wood, you have to shape it to make the table. So some change has to happen. But in your case that does not happen and still you create. So avikrit parinam. Parinam and avikrit generally do not go along together. If parinam has to happen, if something is the cause, then vikar, transformation must happen. But it does not the case with Bhagavan, therefore say that this is adbhutam, this is most amazing. Yaduktam Gajendrena, and this is stated by the elephant Gajendra in his prayers to Lord Vishnu. Namo namaste khil karanaya niscaranaya adbhuta karanaya. So he says, I bow down to you again and again, who is the cause of everything, akhil karanaya, but who does not have any cause for himself, niskaranaya, and who is a adbhut karana, who is very wonderful cause. So what is the wonder? Wonder is this only, that he does not undergo transformation, although he is the cause. So that's the, otherwise there was no point in saying, when he said akhil karanaya, cause of everything, then why again say adbhut karanaya? So there is no need to repeat it, but repetition is there to make this specific point that although he is the cause, he does not undergo transformation. Vyakhyashyate cha Sridhar Swami bhi. This is also explained by Sridhar Swami. Upadanatvepi mridadi vat vikara bhavaiti. So this is what Sridhar Swami also writes, that although he is the upadan karana, material cause, but he is free from any changes in him. So this is something which people do not understand. Therefore Nyaya, Sankhya, they all get into trouble because they try to put him logically, and this is beyond logic. This is the achintya Shakti of Bhagavan, that he creates and still does not undergo change. Ateva idam avikriyamana eva srijati harasi pasi iti devairapi yuktam. Therefore in the Devas also in their prayers in third canto have said this, that all the Lord creates, he destroys, he maintains it, but he remains himself unchanged. There is no change that happens in him. Vayamapi bruma. So we are also saying the same thing which the Devas have said. Yadva, or alternatively, prakrte stvachhaktitvat syat jagadupadanatvad tav jagadupadanatva. Or there is another way of explaining it, that Prakriti is your Shakti, and it is Prakriti which undergoes transformation. So Prakriti is the Upadan Karan, is the material cause. And because Prakriti is your Shakti, therefore you are also the Upadan Karan. So that's another way of seeing it. And this is also stated in Bhagavatam. Prakritihi yasya upadanam adharaha purushaha paraha sato abhivyanjako kala brahma tatratiyam tuham. So Krishna is saying this to Uddhava, that the upadan, material cause of this material world is Prakriti, and the basis, the foundation of that Prakriti is the Purusha, who is Para, who is beyond Prakriti, and Sato Abhivanjaka Kala. And then this manifestation of all these real objects which we experience, this happens by the Shakti of time, Kala Shakti. So Kala is the Abhivanjaka. Abhivanjaka means that it makes things happen or manifest. So Kala is also his Shakti. And Brahma Tatratiyam Tva. And then all these three means Prakriti, Purusha and time. All these three is me. Kintu tasya avikaritvepi na te vikaritvam. So although Prakriti is vikaritva, vikari, not avikari, tasya vikaritvepi na te vikaritvam. Although Prakriti is vikari, it undergoes transformation, but you do not undergo any change. So this way you remain free. Tasyastu tvat swarup shakti tva bhavat. Because this Prakriti is not your swarup shakti. That's why it is called Bahiranga Shakti. So although it is his Shakti only, but why is it called Bahiranga? Because why, if he has got both our Shakti, Antaranga Shakti is also Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti is also Shakti, so how is that this is called Bahiranga? So Bahiranga is only in the sense that if anything happens to this, any transformation, it doesn't have any bearing on his personality. And Swarup Shakti is not like that. If some transformation would happen there, then it will also be influencing him. So that is the meaning of Antaranga and Bahiranga. Otherwise, both are Antaranga only, both are his only. Both, nothing is outside him. There is nothing which can exist outside. That is the example given that if you walk on earth, then your feet are going to fall on earth only. So there is nothing which can be outside his purview, his existence, or independent of him. But Antaranga and Bahiranga are said to be only because of this feature, that whether change in it has any bearing on him or not. So when he says Bhakti aham ekya grahya vasi kurvanti mam bhaktya, they control me by bhakti, that is the meaning. Otherwise he says that you can do puja, you can do anything, it makes no difference. If bhakti is not there, then none of these things have. As Rupa Goswami says that sadhano ghairana sangya alabhya suchiradapi, that even if you do hordes of sadhana bhakti, different types, but anasangai, without bhav, without feelings of devotion, then he is not attainable by that. So that is the difference, Antaranga and Bahiranga. So antaranga is that which controls him, or he becomes influenced by that. So this says tasya tvat swarup shaktitva bhavat. So this Bahiranga is not your Swarup Shakti. Tvat Swarupasya mayati tattvena sarv shastra prasiddhi. Because your Swarupa, your inner being, is beyond Maya. This is well known from the Shastra. Atah karanad rishiyas tvai eva manovachana charitam dhyan kirtan paricharyam dadu. So for this reason, it is that the sages, they engage their mind and their speech only in you. Tvayi eva manovachana charitam. How dhyan kirtan. With the mind they meditate on you, with the speech they do kirtan of your name, qualities, pastimes. So for this reason only, Ata Rishya Dadhu Manovachana Charitam Natu Prithag Vikareshu Indradeshu Ityartha. And they do not engage their mind and their speech in those which are different from you, means not belonging to your Swarup Shakti, such as Indra, etc. Atra khalu arthantarnyasa. So this is arthantarnyasa. Arthantarnyasa means that when you want to explain something by referring to something else. So you give the example of the earth. Katham ayathan iti nrinam bhutalvartinam padani yatra kutrapi dattani nikshiptani bhuvi katham ayatha bhavanti. So katham ayatha bhavanti bhuvi datta padani nrinam. Explaining that line, that last line of this sloka. So how is that those people who are existing on earth, and if they utilize their feet to walk, means they move their feet, then where else will they fall but on the earth? Bhuvi katham ayatha. They will fall on earth only and not on anything else. Adattani bhavanti ato yatha mrit pashana ishtkadeshu dattani padani bhuvam nave vicharanti tathaivyat kampi vikar jatam vadanto vedas tvamev sarv karanam parmeshwaram pratipadyanti. So one may say, well, you can walk and you can put your foot on the table or on the stone or on something else. That is not earth. So he says that even that is earth only, because ultimately it is everything is on earth. Bhuvam navik. So in the same way, when Shrutis are describing Indra, Chandra, Agni, etc., that is also your description. So Akashat patitam toyam gachanti sagaram prati sarvadeva namaskaram keshvam prati gacchati. Just as the water which falls from the sky, ultimately it reaches the ocean. In the same way, all the respect which is given to the devas, ultimately it goes to Keshava, Krishna. So, as Krishna says that those who worship other devas, they also worship me avidhi purvakam. Yajanti mam avidhi purvakam. So, yepi anna devata bhakta yajante shraddhanmita tepi mameva konte yajanti avidhi purvakam. So they are also worshipping him only, but avidhi purvakam means indirectly, not directly, not as per the prescription. So therefore, ultimately the Veda, they are establishing only you, who is the Supreme Person, Parameshwara. Atra vacharambhanam vikaro namdheyam mrittika iti eva satyam sarvam khalu idam brahma ityadya sruteya. So because these are the Shruti, state prayers by the Shrutis, therefore for every sloka they also give the Shruti, actually the Vedic statements, what is described in these verses. So there is a famous statement from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Vacharambhanam vikaro namdheyam mrittika iti eva satyam. Very popular statement, and the popular Advaitic meaning is also given, that mrittika iti eva satyam, only the clay is truth, rest is all name and form, vacharambhanam vikaram namde. These are all name and form, these are all false. That's how they explain, but that is not our explanation. Our explanation is that all the products, vacharambhanam, they are the vikaras of mrittika, and their name is given by speech, vacha namdhe. And mrittika is, clay is the ultimate form from which they come. But that does not mean that everything else which is coming, if clay is satyam, what you make from clay is also satyam. Mrittika ityeva satyam means it is the ultimate thing. It doesn't mean that everything else is false. And sarvam khalu idam brahma nehana nasti kinchana. All this is Brahman. So if it is Brahman, how it can be false? Satyadya srutaya. Atra satya shabdena karanam eva vyakhyatam. So in this Shruti statement, mrittika iti eva satyam, the word satyam means cause. And the cause is the clay, and from that other things come. It does not mean that only clay is true, real, and everything else is false. That's not what it means. Atra satya sabdena karaname vyakhyatam yaduktam bhagavata. As it is stated by Bhagavan himself, Krishna speaks this to Uddhava. Yadupadaya purvastu bhavo vikurute param adiranto yadayasya tat satyam abhidhiyate. So that what you take, and then from that you make something else. So all these things have adi and anta, but that from which you take it and make, that is satya. So satya here means the cause, because it is made from that. So you take prakriti, and from prakriti comes mahat, ahankar, all these things. And then at the time of dissolution they go back to prakriti. So prakriti is called satya, or sat. Sadevi magre asit. In the beginning there was sat. So sat means it is the cause here. Tatasya asyaha shruterayam artha. Therefore the meaning of this Shruti statement, this means this vacharambhanam vikaro namdheyam mrittika ityeva satyam. Arambhanam vikarya vikara hai karyam bhavati. So arambhanam means it is the karya, that is the product. And vacha yasya namdhevam ghatadikam bhavati. And then by speech we give it a name. So arambhanam means by making it, transforming it, we make the product, vikara. And by words we give it a name. Mritika ityeva satyam karanam bhavati. And clay is the cause. So this is the explanation of sloka number 15. Then next sloka. Iti tav suryastrayadhipate khilalokamala chapana kathamritabdhim avgahya tapamsi jahu kimut punay swadham vidhuta shekala gunaha parama bhajanti ye padamajasya sukhanubhavam. So knowing this, the Surya, the learned people, they worship you, who is Traya Adhipate, who is the master of three. So Traya Adhipate means master of the three gunas, master of three gunavataras, master of three types of time, whatever. So Suryas Trayadhipate Akhila Lokamal Kshapana Kathamritabdhim Avgahya. So they Avgahya, they take a dip into the ocean of the nectar of your Katha, who dispels all impurities of everybody. Akhila means all, Lok means people, Mala means dirt, Kshapana means dispels, Katha, Amrit, Abdhim, Avgahya. Tapansi Jahu. And in this way they gave up all their suffering. All the three tapa, Adhyatmik, Adi Bhautik, Adi Devik, they give up by Tapansi also means heat, tapa. So when you feel hot, you jump into a pond. So then you feel cool. So that's why it says that Kathamrit Abdhim Avgahya, that they dive deep into the ocean and become free from all suffering, which is like the heat. Kimut punah swadham vidhutashe kala guna. So then what to speak of the devotees who worship your form, Swadham, which is free from, or those people who are free from all the influence of time and the gunas. They certainly worship you, and Padam Ajasra Sukhanubhavam, and continuously they have experience of happiness by worshipping you. What can be said about that? Sarveshwarattat tavaiva upashyatvam iti satam pravritya nischinvanti iti. So because you are the Sarveshwara, not only Ishvara, but you are the Sarveshwara. So therefore, those who are learned, Surya, Suri means those who are wise people, so they worship only you. And this is what is being affirmed here by the Shrutis by giving their example. He Trayadhipate, O Lord of the three. So what is this three here? He says Urdhva, Adhor, Madhyavartinam, Sarvesham Adhishvara. That you are the Lord of all the various controllers, whether in the upper planets, middle or the lower. Urdhva, Adha and Madhya, above, below and in between. Sarvesham Adhishvara, you are the master of all. Ityato hetoho suryo vivekina. So for this reason, those who are viveki, those who have good understanding, who can discriminate what is right and wrong, who is the Supreme Ishvara and who are the Devas, who has this knowledge, they worship you only. And how are you? You are the one who dispel all the impurities of the heart. Akhila loka mala kshapana kathamrita abdhi. So akhil malasya, what is the mala? So mala means the vasanas, vasana paryantas. Because the vasanas are lying in the chitta. You can also purify your heart, your body, and then when you are in the angry mood or some depressed mood, then you remove your depression. Take one pill, antidepressant. So you come out of the depression. But that does not take away the problem. So therefore it says vasana paryanta karma dosasya nirasani. That your katha is such that it uproots up to the vasana, up to the samskaras which are lying hidden. So that is what karma dosha, that is the impurity of the karma. How does karma manifest? Karma here means the outcome of the past activities. So how does it manifest? When you perform karma, it leaves some impressions. Then those impressions make you act again. That's how you get into the result. You will go and eat something, or you will go and meet somebody because of your past karma, which is in the form of samskara. So that samskara will give you the desire or the feeling to do something which will bring you to that outcome. So this all gets cleaned up, Cheta Darpana, Marginam. That is the meaning. So how it happens? Only by hearing your katha. Kathaiva amritabdhi. So your stories, description of your pastimes, they are the ocean of nectar. Tamav gahiya tapansi jnanang tapah krishnani sarva sansarik dukkhani vajahu. So they give up all tapas. So tapas has two meanings here. One is that they give up all their austerities. There is no need to perform austerities. No need to do Bhisma Panchaka. Because the tapasyas are part of Jnana Yoga. Prachrani, difficult. Or tapa means sarva sansarik dukkhani, the material suffering is given up. It is sadhaka ukta. So this is the explanation of the sadhak bhaktas. So siddha bhaktas and sadhak bhaktas both are described in this verse. The first half is speaking about the practitioners. Second half speaks about the perfected ones. So then he talks about the next one. Kimut kim punar vaktavyam, but to speak then of those who have attained perfection. Ye swadhamna swaprabhavenaiva vidhuta vidhvasta ashya guna. So they have kicked away all the impurities of their heart by their own influence. Antakarana dharma ragadeya kal guna jaradeyascha te siddha bhakta. So two types, the two words are mentioned here. Ashaya, kala guna. One refers to the ashaya. Ashaya means the chitta, heart, antakarana. So all the raga, dvesh, abhinivesh, this is dispelled because they are perfected being. They have eternal bodies, so there is no influence of all this raga, dvesh on them. Na tatra maya kim tapare harir anubrata surasurai. And kal guna, the influence of time also does not, they don't become old or die. So they are, who are the siddha bhakta, the perfected devotees. He parma te padam ajasra sukhanubhavam yatha sat tatha bhajanti O Supreme, they worship your feet as in a way that they experience non-stop happiness. Te tapansi jahati, and thus they also give up all suffering, means they don't have any suffering. So for this also he gives the Shruti. For every sloka, explanation and Shruti has to be given here. So for this also he gives the Shruti. Vishnornukam viryani pravochayam parthivani vimame rajamsi ityadya lila pratipadika. So this is Shruti which is speaking about Bhagavan's lila. He says that who can describe the prowess of Bhagavan, his activities. Only a person who can count all the dust particles on the earth, he can count the good qualities and pastimes of Bhagavan. Kamiti ka ityartha. The word kam here means ka means who. Pravochat means who can speak. Then another one, Eko Vasi Sarogah Krishna Idya Ekopisan Bahudayo Vabhati Tam Pithagam Yeno Bhajan Yajanti Dhira Tesam Sukam Shashvatam Netaresham. So there is only one supreme controller who goes everywhere. His name is Krishna. He is the only worshipable. Although he is one, he manifests in many ways. And establishing him on the throne, they worship him, the devotees. And those who worship him like this, only they have eternal happiness, not the others. Ityadya bhajan pratipadaka shrute. So the first shruti is establishing the pastimes of Bhagavan. The second is establishing his service. So this is the end of commentary on 16. If there is any question, otherwise we read one more. Yeah.
How is the assembly of parts a change? So the assembly of parts, how is this a change? Just like when we stack stones onto each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I understood that every time something is produced, then there's a change, right? And then I heard the example of, or then the example could be, what about we just combine parts, right? We just stack them onto each other, just like we take a bunch of stones and make a wall.
So then there is a transformation.
So how is it? This is a transformation in the stones. The stones are still the same stones.
Yeah, but you have to glue them together.
I mean, if it's a dry wall, right? Just
dry wall will
stack
fall
them
in
onto
the
each
wind.
No.
You have to put something to put it together. Anyway, still it is not a stone. Now can you take it out and walk away with it? When it is a stone, you can take it and hit somebody with it. Once it is part of the wall, can you do it?
No, then it's the wall.
So therefore the change has come in it. Change doesn't mean chemical change. It can be physical change.
I see. So the fact that they're now one unit.
No, it's something
I
else.
see.
Otherwise it is not a wall.
Is even a movement a change? So when I move the stone from here to there? No. Okay.
It's not a change.
I see.
क्या?
There's a question for me.
कौन है? Roads. Louder. You can hear now?
Yes, I can hear. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay, is it still okay if I ask my question?
yeah.
Okay, thank you, Babaji. So yeah, I just wanted to ask if you would speak a bit more to help me understand why it is that the Shrutis, at least in the form that we have access to them on the Earth planet currently, why such a high percentage of them deals with worship of the Devas rather than the worship of Sri Hari. Like, was it that in their full form they deal more with Sri Hari, or is there another reason, or?
No, the reason is simple. It's a demand and supply principle. Most people are materialistic and they want materialistic benefit. So if you just simply speak about worshipping of Krishna or Bhagavan, then it doesn't interest them. So therefore Shrutis allure them, okay, worship Indra, worship this, worship Ganesh. So at least you do something. Otherwise you will go to bar.
Okay. But would it be fair to say that the Shrutis do though contain, because I feel like these days people rely a lot on the Puranas and the Bhagavata texts to learn the details of how to worship Sri Hari. But would it be accurate to say that the Shrutis do have enough information and they do have complete information on how to worship Sri Hari if one is skilled enough in interpreting them?
At present,
Or
Shrutis are lost. So what is available is very small portion. Therefore, you won't learn much. You have to depend on Puranas, Agamas, Pancharatra.
Okay. Thank you, Babaji.
Babaji, just an addition on this question. We see in Tattva Sandarbha when that from the very point when Vyasa made division of the Vedas, that Puranas and Itihasas were made as a separate division, taking the remaining portion of the Vedas. So my question is, generally we see that they'll give two reasons for Vedas. One is that it is Pura Iti Purana, one that completes the Vedas. And second one, it is for people who are not Dvijas, they are Stri Shudra Dvija Bandhus, like this. So in this situation, when Vyasa made these 5 Vedas, so as to speak, then what is the purpose of the 5th Veda then, if it is saying the same thing that is being said in the Vedas?
Well, it's saying the same thing but saying in a different way so that you can understand, because the Shrutis, they don't speak very straightforwardly.
Okay, so it is just a matter of clarity rather than matter of, because when we say Pura Iti, then it means something is left and we are adding something else and completing it. So I was always thinking that maybe there are some sections.
So this is the Purana, that you can understand it, what is being said.
Okay, so it is just in terms of clear explanation.
Yeah. Therefore Vedas say that one who does not study the Puranas, then he is afraid. Mamayam prahishyati bibheti Veda. He fears that this guy is going to now change me, because it is a fact that without understanding the Puranas, it is very difficult to understand what is happening in the Samhitas, what do they mean. Okay, so I think there is not enough time to start another sloka. So I'll stop here unless there is some other question.
Question from Mohini. You explained yesterday that without bhakti one can get free from avidya, but one still remains stuck with avidya. What is this vidya about?
Vidya is satuguna. Sattvat sanjayate jnanam. 14th chapter, Krishna says that. From sattva you get knowledge, but you don't become free from sattva then.
And what is this knowledge about?
knowledge about you are not the body, material world, how it is undergoing transformation. You can understand this in Sattva-guna. So knowing is one thing, that I am not the body, but how to actually become free from the conditioning, that is a different thing. Many people can know this, that okay, we are not the body. So what? Aditya.
Babaji, one question on your explanation of that verse from Shvetashvatara Upanishad, Atra Vacharam Anapikaro. So you had mentioned that, if
What is the Advait?
Satyam,
What is the Advait?
what is the Advaita problem?
Yeah, you know better. So tell us. This is a famous Advaitvadi statement. Vacharambhanam vikaro mrittika ityeva satyam.
They're only products of made in speech, but ultimately unreal. But the question that I have is, if you had said that, if clay is satyam, then also the products which you make from it is also satyam. My question is, in the Gita, for example, I remember there's I think it's in chapter 12, it talks about how Brahman is beyond, cannot be described either as the cause or as the effect. So it says, nasa to na asa. My question is, why is the effect called asa?
Because it changes. Asat, here the word have different meaning. So you don't take just meaning of sat means that which exists or true, and asat means opposite of that. Sat means which is unchanged, and asat means when it changes. So therefore sat means cause and asat means effect. Means it is not in its original form, it changed. The word sat comes from as dhatu. So that's why it is considered as effect. Okay.